Hi and welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. I'm on a classic caravan hunt and it's brought me here. I'm not far from home, but it's brought me here to a horse show, and the caravan in question is just over here. Now the problem is it's been used as a PA office for the horse show. You can see the horses over there, and I want to tell you more about the caravan in a minute. There they are, they're all judging at the moment. So, as these things are. But the caravan in question is quite a rare van these days. And I want to tell you a bit about it. Now, I've just been talking to the owners who've had it for 20 years. It's been stored in a barn. But before you get too excited, it's not pristine condition. It was owned by a builder. They took it on a job that they were doing, and I think they were offered the van. They took some bits out of it, so all that's left in there now really is the side kitchen and the corner washroom. The front end lounge it went, and the owners have put in a bit of a table and chairs, basically so they can do the PA work for the horse shows. So this is going to be quite hard to do because I've been in and out. They're using this, so I've just come up, I've just racked up here. I've taken some shots outside which you've seen on the video, and I'm going to try and show you inside, but I'm going to tell you a bit of history about Minster, because Minster were one of Hull's growing caravan manufacturers at the days. Now the thing is, I'm using this as a celebration of Hull's 80th anniversary as an area of caravan manufacturing, and let's have a look right round here. Try not to disturb everybody because they're judging. So you see what I mean, it's been used as a PA, as the PA office. Right, let's get to Minster. Minster Caravans was formed by a guy called Cravan Giplin. Now, Cravan Giplin had been with Astral Caravans. Astral had started up in 1959 in Hull, and basically what happened was that Cravan Giplin ended up being their sales director, and what he did all the exports, and like a lot of people were doing at that time, they would then go and jump ship and start manufacturing or go to another company. And this is what Cravan Giplin did. He jumped ship, went to Victoria Street, I think it was called, in Beverley, which is now the site of Morrison's. There was another manufacturer there called Windsor Caravans and also Fiesta Caravans. They were also there, but they were there at a later date. So what have I got to tell you about the Minster? Well, Minster's made a lot for exports, and Cravan Giplin was, as I say, he was their sales director, and of course starting up his own company, designing his own caravans. Of course, what did he do? He joined all the swelling ranks of caravan exports. So what he did with his UK vans, they were all, and he wasn't unusual in this, Astral did it and one or two of the manufacturers did it, they did it with the door on the wrong side, because the UK buyer would at that particular time accept that. So I've put this down as no chassis plate on it, but I'm pretty sure it's a 72, 73 Minster. It's definitely a Minster Hunstman 14, and I'm going to take you around it. It's had a bit of battering, as you can see. This caravan is just literally towed out and taken back again into the barn. So it's not the tyre went down this morning apparently. But look at this, the preformed aluminium, that was quite a popular thing. And these on the original Minsters, they were blue and then they changed them to green. And the rubbing stakes here at the bottom, they stuck out a little bit, so if you're going to hit anything, you'd hit these first. Thing with these, you always have to keep them varnished up and looking something like. Louved windows there at the top. These tiny grab handles, again standard grab handles at the time, and on the old peak chassis, it's got the old Honda here towing it here now, but there's no actual plate on that I can make out or see proper at all. Can't see, that's just rotted off. But interesting features are the stone guard, which was always something which was an Astral idea. It was to stop caravans chipping up the main aluminium bodywork on them. We had big front covers. That lady just started talking to myself. I said, yes I am. And the shape was very, very much a traditional Hull caravan design. The boat roof there, Ace and all these other people, Swift, all had this boat roof. It was a medium classed price caravan. Now, as I say, I'm a bit off my stride here because I'm sort of like trying not to interfere with people. This lady just started talking to myself, as I said just before. Now I'm going to poke my head in, and the owners are in there, and I'm just going to do it very, very briefly. I'm going to be talking to myself, don't worry.
Oh no, we know.
And I'm just going to do a few little features of what the caravan would have looked like when it was new.
Oh.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Right. Thanks very much for letting me do this.
Right.
I know it's your PA thing. Front end here it would have been a lounge area, so you'd have had two seats at the front here, table of course, table would come down, made the double, and overhead lockers, gas light in the middle. There would have been a fluorescent light in these because by 1972-73 caravan manufacturers and medium priced tourers were putting in 12 volt lighting, but also the gas lighting was the main lighting up to about 1982. Now on the side here we've got the sink or kitchen unit, and it's really been quite big as well. Now if you notice this floor, not like the old sandwich floors today, this was a proper thick plywood floor in there, so there was no problems with the floors going delaminate or anything like that. Now the old roof vent there has been covered up because that's obviously long gone. Sliding overhead lockers for your crockery, and basically, as I say, you would have had a 2-burner grill there, an oven if one had been fitted as an optional extra. Washroom was at the back here in the corner, and this side here would have been a single dinette with a bunk that which would have folded out over the top, and probably a small chest of drawers or a table at the back where this good lady sat. Again, some overhead lockers there, and you'd have had a shelf probably just above here too. So you'd have had just 2 gas lights and also an electric fluorescent 12-volt lighting as well.
Oh, possibly August. What we're looking at well, he's lost his quality of life then.
Yeah.
He's not got what he normally has, so I think.
Right, we'll just go outside here because, as I say, these people are trying to run an event, and here's me, I just rack up, and I come along because my daughter tipped me off this morning and said, "Dad, there's an old caravan in the field where the horses are," and I've seen it before, I think, and I thought, well, it depends what she's been told. She sent me a picture, so as soon as I saw it, I said, yeah, I'll have to go down and investigate it. So, Minster. 14-foot model was their sort of popular model. It was the biggest one they made, and then they did make a static van as well, as most store manufacturers did in those days. Swift unusually never did, but most of the manufacturers did. Now you've got the Minster Caravan's badge here, and as I say, Minster had quite a lot of dealers around the country. They were quite a successful caravan. So what happened? Well, as I say, a lot of these were exported over into Holland, and hence I say the door is on the wrong side, but later on, a few years later, they were having to put the doors on the UK side, and for exports, you know, the door on that side, so they had to have sort of run 2 different production batches basically. I look at this van now, and you know, it's like the couple said, if it hadn't been for them putting it in the barn, it probably would have long since just, you know, gone down, it had just disintegrated. And it's always a shame, but, and although it's not original inside, it's just still gives you an idea what it's all about. Now on this video you'll see some pictures of what it would have looked like when it was new, from the brochures, and it plays its part in Hull's 80th anniversary of caravan manufacturing. Now you're going to say, what happened to Minster? Well, Minster, like many in the Hull area and, you know, other manufacturers around the country, hit bad times, because by 79-80 the caravan industry was really pretty much on its knees. And I've said to you before, and back in those days we had a lot more manufacturers around, so when some went, it didn't really make a lot of difference. You get 1 or 2 new ones starting up, but now we have nothing. We've only got a few manufacturers, and nobody starts up. It's so expensive, and of course the market's not there. When these were being built, you were talking 50,000 sales, 40-odd thousand sales a year. Brand new caravans being sold, not including the second-hand ones, and thousands being exported. Now, as I say, the big slump came in 79-80, and what happened was that unfortunately Minster was one of the people who succumbed to it, along with Astral, the Craven Giplins company that he'd worked for. They also went in about 1980, I think it was about April 1980, and Minster also followed very shortly after. Now, one of the problems, as I said before, Astral were a company a bit like Thompson. They'd been very popular, had a factory over in Belgium, just like Thompson had, and Astral was a family-owned business. It was a big timber importing business, and they had a bit of that to fall back on, but it didn't stop them going downhill. The trouble is, as well, they too got a little bit complacent and were producing caravans that were probably a bit old-fashioned when you looked at the neighbours such as ABI and Swifts. But Minster again used that profile virtually from day one, and that's what happened. The company didn't change in time. If they had done, it might have been a different story. They might have gone on to go for another couple of years. Who knows? We just don't know. But it was one of, again, Hull's rich tapestry of caravan manufacturing. So after they went into liquidation, that was the end of it. Craven Gippling, from what I can tell, I never heard of him being back in the caravan industry after that. So it's one of those. It's another one of those caravans that have gone off into the history books. Now, talking about history books, of course, if you look at my history books, visual history of the Victorian caravan, I actually feature, I think it's a 75 Minster Hunstman 14 in there, and I tell you a bit about the company, etc. So, you know, that's definitely in the visual history of the touring caravan. So, on that one, I'm going to say goodbye and let these people get on with what they're doing, because they've been very, very kind to let me hang around here for an hour and dive in. But they've also been very kind just to look at the old Minster caravan here. It's just a shame, isn't it, that these can't be preserved more. And incidentally, Minster were one of these that never had an owners club. Astral did, and it ran for many, many years after Astral went into liquidation, but eventually fizzled out. But Minster never did. They were medium priced caravans, so basically you got things like stainless steel sink, as I say, fluorescent lighting that ran off the car, electric water pump, again ran off the car battery. You put your 7-pin plug socket into the car like you would do for your road lights. You had to reverse the car up or get an extension lead, and that would run off your 12-volt lighting and also your water pump, and just a bit better upholstery and nicer finish inside. Now, medium priced caravans, as I say, with people like Swift, Ace, say Astral, A-Line, these were big names around the whole area. And of course we know Swift and ABI now are in leisure homes. But as I say, it's just good to be able to at least look at one of the relics. And I'll tell you another thing as well, what I like, and I've got one of these stickers in my own caravan window, and that is the Caravan Club one. Do you remember when it was called the Caravan Club, not the Caravan and Motorhome Club, and spent a lot of money and saying motorhomers come in? Well, motorhome people knew to come in, didn't they? But I know, I particularly like that. That was the first sticker I got in 1985 when I joined the Caravan Club. Better be careful because I don't want to get my voice on there.
Our equitation championship has just finished, so moving on to our showing championship. So if you are first or second in any class today, please make your way over to ring 5. Straight after our showing championship, we will move on to our working.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and just again, one of Hull's many manufacturers that shaped the industry in the UK, not just in the Hull area. On that note, please watch, please subscribe, and please give us your comments. Did you ever own a Minster? Did you have one? Did you work there even? Sadly, as I say now, it's the site of a Morrison's supermarket. I did go and have a look a couple of years ago, and a friend just reminded me before when I showed him the caravan. He said, "Oh, they were made where the Morrisons." I said, "Yeah, I know." I went looking to see if I could find Victoria Street and where the factory would have been, but it's probably in aisle 5 or something now for where they made this caravan, but that's where it was built. See you on the next one. Thanks then for watching, and please keep subscribing.